Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Extra Frame. Dave Small here with Tom Carter, and we're here live at Pro Bowl West for the 2016 DeHayes Insurance Group Championship here. Incredible field tonight, Tom, wouldn't you say?
That was a mouthful.
Not bad.
Yes,
not bad.
We're going to have a great show tonight. We got some Hall of Famers on the show, and we've got an underdog on the show. It's going to be kind of interesting.
We sure do. We don't know a whole lot about him yet. We're going to keep it kind of a secret for you as we go out. As he was talking to us earlier, he had a chance 2 weeks ago to strike and make the show. Didn't execute. He wasn't happy. But guess what? He's here tonight.
He's here tonight. This is his 8th tournament, and 8 is his favorite number, he says, so I'm looking for big things out of him.
I think it's going to be a great night. We've got Bobby Learn leading the show tonight. In our first match here, we've got Amleto Monticelli, Hall of Famer, 24 titles, against Ron Moore, hometown favorite, originally from Fort Wayne, moved away.
And he did an incredible thing in the 10th frame. He struck out to tie Jack Jurek to get the 15 bonus pins, which leapfrogged him into the show.
It was a very exciting position round. I think Ron is pumped up and ready for this event.
He's ready to go.
He is ready to go, definitely. Well, we're going to be starting here live here shortly. Again, Tom Carter here, Dave Small, and we're going to have a great show tonight, guys.
We will.
And we're getting ready for the start of match number 1 here. Hall of Famer Amleto Monticelli going against Ron Moore as a John Weber tracker pops on.
That is absolutely amazing that shows up all the time.
Perfect timing, exemplifying humanity. You can't ask for anything better.
Oh, the classic style of Ron Moore. Getting a few more shots in.
A little bit more practice. And let's talk about how the guys got here today. We had the cashier's round this morning, which was the qualifiers.
Do we have to talk about that? Because I missed by a pin.
I wasn't going to bring that up, Tom, but since you did, I did not want to talk about that. But today the bowlers actually had the qualifiers, or cashier's round, which was 25 and down to 39, including the top 8 super seniors.
Exactly.
They bowled 5 games.
Right.
And then after that, they cut the top 8 out.
That was 5 games total pins.
Total pins.
And it took plus 92, because I know that number, to make the cut.
I would never say anything like that to you, Tom.
Yeah, that's okay. I shot 255 the last game. I thought it was good. Tom Baker shot 260, and guess what? I lose by a pin. And then we go into the next round, which is another 5 games, but it's match play. They get 30 bonus pins.
And then from there, we cut to the top 8 out of that round and bring the top 8 in.
Right. And then we go to the top 16, which is 6 games with bonus pins, 5 games of match play, position round, and total pins with your bonus pins, and we have our top 5.
And it's going to be an awesome top 5 tonight. Players looks like they're getting ready to start. Amleto Monticelli is going to open up tonight's action on lanes 41 and 42 on the 42-foot PBA standard pattern. Tom, you bowled all week. What did you see out there? What can we expect to see with the bowlers tonight?
I think, depending on how they broke down the lanes in practice here for their 15 minutes they had, Amleto is going to be inside, kind of circling the pattern. Moore is going to be a little bit more direct, but he's still going to be hooking it, because the lanes really do open up if you break the pattern down. And I crossed with Amleto all week, and that's exactly what he did. We both played him inside, and he likes to go around it. He's going to be going 4th arrow out to 7-8 and knocking pins down. That's
a beautiful opening shot for Amleto. Great extra look from Jeff Goodyear over here driving the bus for us today. And Phil Brylo, 2-buck Brylo, is out on the concourse with that
and we get the side
camera.
Shot, yes.
Classic style of Ron Moore now.
I've always been interested with, you look at Ron Moore, look at that index finger, how much pressure he puts on the ball to make sure that helps keep your wrist firmer through the shot. And he puts a lot of pressure on that.
Opens with just the 4-pin, leaks it just a little high.
The lanes with this pattern do change fairly quick. And the mid lane carries down, and then the ball starts to wiggle a little bit. And it'll be interesting as the matches go on how the guys adjust to that.
Ron Moore originally from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He was born and raised here, went to school here, left about 35 years ago, he said, went to Alaska.
Air traffic controller in Alaska.
What a job. I'm jealous.
I think that attributes to his focus, because I think you have to have great focus to do that job.
I know I want someone in good hands when I'm flying.
There's no way in God's green earth I'd be doing that job. That plane went where? What?
Second shot, second frame here for Ron, stepping up on lane 41. Starts it in around the third arrow. Great shot there. Ron has a lot of friends and family here this week. It's really exciting for him.
Yeah, well, you could tell that all through qualifying because he had the most clapping going on.
What do you say about Emiliano Monticelli? Or what can't you say about Emiliano Monticelli? PBA Hall of Famer, USBC Hall of Famer, 24 titles, still the hottest guy out there.
Yeah, the best, and one of the best shapes of any of the guys out there. Throws the ball absolutely pure. And it's effortless for him. He's got such a great arm swing.
Solid 10-pin for Emiliano.
That's the bad thing about this pattern. If you get in a little bit too much, the carry down on the middle part of the lane starts to happen. And there were a lot of 10 pins this week. And guys, actually, if you swing it too far, there's quite a few 7-10s too.
And a lot of 2-8-10s on top of that once you go a little farther than that. And Loto switching balls to a harder plastic ball, going to just go hard and straight. A great lesson for our young bowlers out there, Tom. You don't need to have the big ball. You don't need to throw it, hook it at anything. Just all you got to do is knock the pin over. You got 13 inches to work with.
I've never understood guys trying to throw it 300 mile an hour and go through all kinds of contortions to knock down a single pin spare. You can push the ball down there and knock down a single pin spare. Just take your time, be more accurate, post the shot, because that's 11 pins, and those pins add up.
Even match right now. Emiliano up in the third frame. Again, you'll see Emiliano start the ball very deep in around the fourth arrow. Swinging it way out. Another solid 10-pin.
There's the thing that even in qualifying we went through, and that carry down happens pretty quick right there. In practice, he was striking like crazy. It doesn't look a whole lot different than his first shot, but there's just a tad more push going on. He's going to need to either make an adjustment or make a ball change. And last time this happened with him, he made a ball change, something a little bit stronger that picked up the lane a little sooner. Because I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to shoot 10 pins all day long.
Oh, exactly. And what we also find with the oil, because we strip and re-oil all day long, every block has a fresh condition, we find that as we continue to strip and re-oil, the lanes do tighten up. You would think they would open up more, but the oil leaves a little bit of residue out there, and the lanes do tighten up a little bit as the tournament goes on.
As from like the house shot, we're actually putting oil a lot of times where oil hasn't been, and it gets to be a buildup. And so what used to be a little bit of free hook now tends to be a little bit of an out of bounds.
More looking for our first double. A lot of room.
He give that way right, and that's no man's land out there. You would think that, you always like to see guys try to play a little straighter on most patterns. But this pattern, you could play a little straighter, but the carry wasn't as good because the angle entry wasn't as good to knock out the corners. So the guys played more to the center of the lane. Ron's throwing that brand new Rotogrip ball. No rules. There was a lot of those balls out here this week.
Ron's going to hook at this spare, play it off his strike line, move a couple boards left, covers it perfectly. Interesting guy, Ron Moore. I mean, had a great job for so many years, and he's. What's nice about the PBA50 Tour is guys that actually did have to have a career or maybe weren't in that financial position when they were younger to come out and compete. This gives these guys an opportunity later in life.
Well, yeah, a lot of guys, they did the right thing. We call it the right thing. They worked their entire life. They raised their family. The kids are now pretty much grown. They got more vacation time, build up to come out here. Some of them have retired early. And now they get the chance to bowl with the greatest bowlers in the world because Walter Ray and Parker Bone and Emiliano and Brian Voss, they're all out here. The guys we watched in the 80s and 90s, you're standing on the same approach with.
You got it.
I don't know of any other sport that you can actually go out and compete with all the greatest names in the world other than a Pro-Am. And this is not a Pro-Am event. You can put up your money, come out here, and play ball with the best of them.
You got it. $7,500 tonight to the winner and a gorgeous wine chill traditional trophy here at Pro Bowl West.
Just wondering if who wins is going to open the bottle. That's the question.
I'm opening it regardless. Back-to-back solid 10s for Emiliano in the second and third. Looking to put his second strike on the board. Great shot that time.
He curved that a little farther. He went a little farther outside down lane. And
great angle by Phil Brilo here. Great shot. See Amuleto out to about the 5-6 board, brings it back 50 feet, just snaps that 10-pin out. Beautiful shot.
Amuleto is one of the unique players out here because there isn't a lot of players that have as many revs as Amuleto, so he can create a lot of different angle entry. But again, our tournament leader also has a lot of revs and can create angle entry. So this is going to be kind of interesting as the lanes change on what happens.
And they happen to both be the same coaches for the same company.
Right.
That they founded together. Looking for our first double here. Opening match. Gets the 9-pin out.
He got that in a little bit down lane, and he knew it. And he's like, oh, please, hold. And
there is a touch of hold out there. Not a tremendous amount, but it looks like he only went out to about maybe 8-9 on that one. Didn't quite get it out as wide. But
that is what we call high flush.
Way kind of hold your breath and, all right, we're good. Well, let's see what Moore can do here. You know, last time on the right-hand lane, he did miss the headpin 1-2-8. Looks like he just kind of lost it at the bottom.
It looks like he what we call missed at the bottom of the swing, and obviously wasn't very happy about it when it happened. We're never happy about it, but, you know, we do make mistakes.
Double here will take a 1-pin lead early in our opening match. Gives it a lot of room. Gets it back. Gets the 7-pin out. There we go. And you see the difference on that shot. He definitely gave that ball a lot of room again. He almost went out to the same point, but he got more at the bottom.
Yeah, he got more hand in it at the point of release, and he knew it was coming back. Then it's just a matter of, is it going to strike or not?
Exactly, and it did. And that takes a 1-pin lead early over Monticelli in the 5th frame. 3-bagger here sets Moore up with an 11-pin lead.
Moore gets on a strike roll. He strikes a lot.
Yes, he does.
He repeats, and that's the biggest thing about bowling is being able to repeat shots. And for a lot of the young bowlers out there, you know, they think it's all about, you know, torquing it up and revving it up. If you can't repeat shots, it doesn't really make any difference how many revs you have on a ball. You're not doing the same thing twice.
God, you're smart.
You know.
Great coach over here. Looking for 3 in a row. Too much room. 2-4-10.
The thing about Ron's ball, he's got a little bit more end-over-end roll, so the ball doesn't change direction as hard on the back end as Amuleto's. Amuleto's got more tilt to it, and when the ball comes off the pattern, it's a little more violent.
Well, Tom, give us some advice on how the best way to pick this up is going to be.
He's going to shoot the left side of the. I just went brain dead. Of the 2-4.
Those two pretty pins over there, Tom.
And slide the 2-pin over the 10. And there's a couple different ways to shoot it. He's going to shoot it on the left side and kind of straight at it, kind of back it into it.
Beautiful shot. Well done.
Great
well
shot.
done.
A lot of guys try to shoot it from the right side across lane.
Extra look at that.
Ron Moore was also on Team USA, so they do a lot of practicing on spares.
Let's see how that split conversion affects Monticelli now.
Normally when you give a slight opening to a player like Amuleto, they jump on it. We'll see if this happens.
Oh, did he hit that one hard at the bottom? Oh, never a doubt, Tom.
Yeah, he's got that rubber band arm swing, which he's had for 35 years, and it hasn't changed. And remember when he came out on tour, everybody thought he'll never last because that shoulder won't last.
And look at the great shot here by Phil and the great camera work and the great drive in the bus with Jeff. He slowed it down to show us how hard Amuleto can hit the ball at the bottom.
And it's just natural. You see so many players that try to hit the ball like that, and it's a grab. It's not a hit.
That's what I do. I grab it and chuck it. And
that's not a good thing.
Hey, I look like a big old chicken up there. I drift all over the place. I am not the perfect bowler.
I can't say anything to that comment.
I'm not going to go there with you. Amuleto looking for 4 in a row. Oh, and another solid 10-pin. He got that one inside, Tom.
Yeah, well, that last shot on that lane, it was way high flush. He made an adjustment to actually try to make it a better shot, and it looks good. It's going down the lane. It's like 8-9. Wasn't quite as high as the last one, and ping, there's a 10.
Good opening match to start. Not a runaway by any stretch of the imagination, which is what we don't like to see.
No, we don't want to see anybody get run over. We want to see it competitive right down to the very last ball thrown. The scores today were representative of that. The matches were really close, some big games. One of the players out there told me he lost all 3 matches by 1 pin. You know, that's kind of heartbreaking.
Ouch.
I know.
Let's not talk about 1 pin.
I know. Shut up, Tom.
Ron Moore, after that great split conversions, only down 11 pins right now. 7th frame here. Latter half of the game. Ron looking to get back on track.
And we're basically down to a 4. Oh, my goodness.
Out
a
the window again.
4-frame game, and that is twice he's done that on the same lane. It
looks like he lost that ball almost.
Yeah, you know, I was getting ready to say, I don't know if he lost it or is a lack of focus or something. He
lost that one.
He just missed it at the bottom.
It's gone. I mean, that went out to where Amleto was throwing the ball, but with no rotation, it's not going to come back.
No, he doesn't have the angle on the back end of the lane as Amleto does. And truthfully, on this pattern, if you get back to the head pin, even light, there's a great chance of striking.
And he covers it up nicely.
It's a 13-pin match with 3 frames left.
If we look at potentials right now, Ron Moore can strike out for 235. My math is correct. Yes, it is.
To 248.
235 to 248 right now. I got to do that math thing kind of slow sometimes. I don't know why.
You want a pencil and paper?
No, an abacus would work better for me. Been with all you old guys all week. Going a little slow now. Ron needs to set himself up here. Only down 13 pins right now. That's a better shot. See the difference on that one?
Yeah. Well, that shot was delivered with a lot more confidence, and he was through the bottom of that, posted it. He knew it was there when he let go.
And it's been a long time since Ron has been in the winner's circle. We saw him finish 5th last week. Yep. And at Anderson, I know he was extremely disappointed with his performance.
You got to take a look at Ron. He's what we call a super senior now.
Yes, he is.
He's 60 years old. That's a super senior. And he's bowling against the kids that are out here from 50 to 59.
Amleto looking to set up the 8th. Oh, beautiful shot.
My.
Just the power of Amleto Monticelli. I mean, just watch him grow up just so smooth at the bottom, out to 7 at the break, bam, all 10.
On slow motion, you can see his thumb come out, and his fingers are still in it going through the bottom of the swing. That's what we call a flat spot. He gets the ball long down the lane, and it's just, look, see those last 2 fingers come out, and it's where he gets all that power and the revs.
This is a big strike for Amleto right here. If he doesn't strike, Ron Moore can step up and shut him out.
Yes.
Needs a double here.
This is the lane he's had a little problem with. He gave it some more room, and
and it went. 7-pin went.
Did I just say something about 7-10s earlier?
You were talking about 7-10s earlier. You saw that ball. Now, you see he's got it at the bottom. He hit it well, but he hit a little spot out there.
Yeah, well, he got that farther right down lane, and it just about didn't make it back. Now it's up to Ron to do the job.
Best Amleto can go out for is 228. The match is in Ron Moore's hands right now.
Well, we know that Ron can hit the left lane. It's a matter of what he does right now in the right lane.
If $2 Brylo was sitting next to me, I'll bet you a $2 bill he's going to strike on this ball.
I'm not going to take that bet because I've seen Ron Moore in action. I've been sitting in this chair a couple of times, and I've seen him do his magic.
Well, we watched his performance not more than an hour ago.
Yeah. He threw the last 3 that was absolutely dead pure to get to this point right now. So it wouldn't surprise me that if he finishes the sheet.
Potential 235 now for Ron Moore. 9th frame, looking to double up, cut the lead down to just 3 pins. He hit that one better. Did not get it back again. Leaves 2-8 on that shot.
The right lane's got him spooked a little bit.
Actually, the 8-pin went a little bit late.
The ball's getting to a spot down there, and it's just like there's enough oil at the break point. It's not making the turn off that break point. I think he's scared to move too far right because then the ball just hooks early.
That's correct. Sparing the 9th for Moore. More potential now. 215 off the sheet. Amleto, strike spare, shoots 218.
Well, with his look on this left lane, I'm pretty sure that he'll probably put 30 back.
He's down 13. He needs a double to get it close to make Amleto step up, get a good count and a strike.
And Amleto's had a better look on the right lane than the left lane.
Yes, he has. And Ron's out the window. And misses again. The 1-2 on that shot.
Oh.
It's the third time Ron's missed the head pin, and just you can just see him walk away. He's just frustrated with his performance.
You hate to say it, but it happens, and we don't know what's going through his mind. But he's seeing something on the lane that's making him try to overwork the ball. It looks like, and when you try to do that, you start missing shots at the bottom.
Yep. And you hear him a little growl out there.
He strikes for 203. Unfortunately, this match is over. Amoletto's going to the next.
Amoletto's going to at least need a mark. Good count and get a mark. He's only up 13 at this point, or 15 at this point.
I think it's going to be.
You think so? No $2 bill bet?
No.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Strike here for 203 for Ron Moore. Great performance this week. Great showing for Ron back in his hometown.
I think 8 pins is a winner.
And it goes high for the 4-pin.
202.
202 for Ron Moore. A good game by Ron Moore.
Not what he's looking for. He's definitely going to be disappointed in himself.
A little bit. Amoletto now needs at least just 9 spare. Simple game, 9 on the first count, 8 on the first count, and he's good.
8 on the first count. What's that? That's 18, that's 96, that's 204.
That's right.
I'm thinking 8 out is all good.
But
you got your advocacy or whatever you call that thing?
I'm still going kind of slow with it over here. I'll bet Amoletto's just going to rip this one apart. Beautiful shot by Amoletto.
Game, set, match.
Once again, that pure release of Amoletto Monticelli. Down the lane, hits it at the bottom of the swing, so smooth. As we mentioned earlier, that thumb comes out first. Fingers rotate the ball. Love the headband, too. Gotta love that headband.
He did that when his hair was longer. I was surprised he wore it. But he did wear it all week, so I understand.
One more here puts him in the 220s. Soft 10-pin that time.
Spare it up 218. It's good enough to move on to the next match.
And that next match is coming up soon. I just forgot what I was going to say. I had a senior moment. The man who finished second the last 2 weeks, second in Anderson, second in South Shore.
Led 2 tournaments, finished second. Now he's in third, but this will be his third show in a row.
Third show in a row, third place. USBC Hall of Famer Lenny Borsch.
This is where you're going to see a complete different angle. Amoletto there trying a different ball just to see what he's got.
217 to 202 victory in game 1 for Amoletto Monticelli over Ron Moore. Stay tuned here on Extra Frame for our second game tonight. Amoletto Monticelli will face USBC Hall of Famer Lenny Borsch. We'll be back in just a moment.
Player of the Year, 2 years, 2009, 2011. Ron Moore, everybody. Congratulations to Ron. USBC Hall of Famer Lenny Borsch coming on board. Lenny will take 6 shots, and we'll get match number 2 underway for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to start match number 2 here at Pro Bowl West.
And we're back here at the 2016 DeHayes Insurance Group Championship live at Pro Bowl West. Dave Small here, along with my good buddy Tom Cotta, Mr. Cotta. Calling the action tonight, John Weber Tracker going right now, exemplifying humanity as he introduces everybody.
This is going to be a very interesting match because these two guys are going to be attacking the lane totally different. Lenny Borsch is going to be going a little bit straighter, and we've seen what Amuleto can do, and he'll be winding on it a little bit more.
Amuleto Monicelli coming off a fresh victory, 217 to 202 over Ron Moore in our first match. Amuleto again going to start the match on lane 41.
He likes the right lane.
Yes, he does. Again, Amuleto's going to be playing in around the fourth arrow. Swinging out to about 5, 6 at the break point. And whacks the snot out of it and leaves a 7-pin.
He got that right off of his hand a little quick. Normally he's been crossing a fourth arrow, and if you look at that, he is right of fourth arrow just a little bit. Gets it way out. Looks like 3-4 down lane, and a little bit late. That could have been a lot worse than just a 7-pin.
That could have hung a little bit and been a 2-8-10. That could have been a 7-10. That could have been anything.
Thank God for revs.
Amuleto's hooking at the 7-pin. Ooh, and hits it a little bit on the left.
We chose to do that this week because it seemed to be a little bit easier to get the ball to cross the lane and get the 4-7.
Now here is the spoiler, as I like to call him. Lenny, 2 weeks ago, led the tournament, got beat by Pete Weber. Last week in Anderson at my house, led the tournament, got beat by Brian Voss. Today, out here again.
That just goes to show 3 different patterns, how consistent and how good Lenny Borsch is. And that right lane is kicking the devil out of people.
Boy, he got that one. It looked like that was about 3 or 4 boards inside where we were watching him play in practice. He was a lot closer to between the first and second arrow.
And as I said earlier, he was going to be a little more straighter and direct, but that was way too direct.
Way too direct.
That ball went left off his hand, and that's another no rules. That's the same thing that Ron Moore was using, and he used it all week, and that ball struck a lot. But I think he's right now maybe a little jitters, on the show. He's got to work his way up the ladder instead of leading the tournament.
Lenny Borsch, great USBC Hall of Famer.
Great bowler all around. Just a great guy. He owns a pro shop back in Wisconsin. Is out here, kind of like we were talking about, one of the guys out here living the dream through the summer. He was telling me that he's all excited that he's got to take his daughter back to college, getting ready for her first year of school, so she's all excited. I think he's going to have a few tears once that car door closes for the last time. Oh, he will.
Lenny trying to get something going here on the second frame. Great shot. You see the difference on that shot.
Yeah, and the difference in angle entry, and that's the same kind of angle entry he played all week. Just really firm, really down and in. Still at the same break point that Amuleto's at, around 8-9 down lane, but just a different way of attacking it.
And that's the fun of bowling, is you can you're all trying to get to the same place,
right?
But you can get there in all different ways.
Exactly, and I think that's what a lot of people don't pay attention to. They don't pay attention to the break point. They just look at, okay, Amuleto's just hooking the ball, but he's getting it to 7-8-9 down lane. Lenny Borsch is getting it 7-8-9 down lane. He's just going straighter at it. So obviously that's the part of the lane you got to get to the pocket. You
got it. Another great look, camera work there by Two-Buck Brylo.
I thought you were going to say Two-Buck Chuck.
No, I may drink some of that later. We'll see.
Oh, God, please.
There's a long story behind that, and I can make you laugh one day. And let us look in here to get our first double of the second match. Currently, he is up by 13 pins. Double here will quickly extend to a 23-pin lead early in our second match. Lot of room. Oh, beautiful shot by Amuleto.
He's not having the down lane issues that like Ron Moore had in the previous match where he kept hitting that spot that just the ball didn't want to read. Lenny, he shouldn't have it because he's going to be a lot more direct than anybody else on the show.
And we'll see what happens.
There's another guy, when he starts striking, he strikes a lot.
Yeah, he does. It was fun to watch this week. Fun to watch.
He bowled right next to me. I had a great cross and a great next to me watching guys, and they just struck a lot. I felt like I struck a lot. I made the cut, but then just struck like these guys did.
Lenny Borsch now needs a double here to cut the lead back down to 13 pins. Better shot, flat 10 pin. And I think what we're seeing out there right now, we saw Moore miss the head pin a couple of times. We saw he also Lenny Borsch now went high on the first shot, flat 10 on the third frame. It seems that this right lane may have a little bit of a hang spot out there,
especially for the straighter players that don't have as much axis rotation on the back end and tilt. Because obviously Amuletto's getting the ball to bounce off that spot.
He is, and right now, I would say advantage Amuletto because he's able to create a little bit more area out there than Lenny is because of the angle of entry that he's going towards the pocket.
Well, you know, even though that Lenny might not be pin for pin with him right now, Lenny's an incredible bowler. You don't get to be a USBC Hall of Famer, win USBC Eagles, make 3 shows in a row without being able to line up and knock down some pins. It's just a matter if this pattern works out to his favor and he figures out that right lane.
And that's what he's got to do right now. Down 23 pins to Amuletto. Good strike here in the 4th. See, he got the ball to the same location as he did on lane 42, but he got a much cleaner reaction.
You can see the ball just make a stronger move on the back end on the left lane for him. His nemesis is going to be that right lane if he figures out how to get around that spot down there that's leaving him corners.
Problem is right now he's got to figure it out pretty quick because 2 strikes here and Amuletto's going to have a quick 43-pin lead halfway through the match. Hit that.
He overhit that one, and I think. Did you hear the little pop on the lane?
Mm-hmm.
It's normally not that loud, so he got that down a little bit quick, revved up a little bit too fast, made the move too quick.
He definitely hit that one a little harder. Didn't quite go as wide as we'd seen the ball go. Normally, from that angle, we see the ball go out and cover the 6-pin.
Well, something could be happening here too. The guys that are throwing the no rule, it's a little bit more surface ball, and they could be burning up a spot down there where, you know, it could force Amuletto to have to move because his break point, with as much revs as he has, could come off that pattern. But Amuletto should notice that and make a move.
See, I don't know what the balls do anymore. I just asked my guy, I said, I just want it to go like down and turn. Can you drill it that way for me? My pro shop guy loves me, you know.
Being a pro shop operator myself, I hear that a lot. Make it go long and hook late.
That's what I want. Sure
you do.
That's what I want. It's been effective for 35 years for me, so there you go. 5th frame for Amuletto. Great shot there.
Has nothing to do with the way you throw the ball. Just make it go long and hook late.
That's all I want. Make it go long and hook late, just like this.
Yeah, and when it doesn't do that, the pro shop screwed up.
You did.
See, I knew it.
You did. Darn Bowler's Universe.
Thanks.
Lenny Borsch now down 20 pins, stepping up here on the right lane. He's been high, flat 10. Needs a double to cut the lead down to 10.
Lenny's got, you know, we're looking at the approaches, which obviously they're totally different. But Lenny's got a unique power step going into his slide. And if Phil caught the side view, he's actually on his tiptoe in the power step, which is pretty interesting. Watch it. See, he's on his toe right there. His foot never goes down. He pushes hard off of that, and that's where it gives him a lot of power. And he has great speed because he's just driving through to the foul line. I notice all this weird stuff. I can't help it.
You're talented. I tell you. Cross lane for the 10-pin. Picks it up, no problem. And we see, once again, Lenny's a little bit light. There's that ballerina tiptoe step right there.
It's
great work by Jeff Goodyear.
Boom. Look at that. Heel never hits, pushes off. You can see him just lift right through the bottom of the ball. He's trying to make that ball turn the corner on that right lane because 10-pin again.
Coming up on the latter half of our second match now. 20-pin lead for Amuletto Monticelli. On a spare, Lenny Borsch, 6 frame. See the difference.
He threw that. He didn't really like it, but he was hoping that please just stay on line.
Extra look here.
I think he thought that was maybe going to jump and go a little bit high, but it held pocket the whole time.
Amuletto Monticelli in the 6th frame. 20-pin lead currently on a strike. quick double here takes a 30-pin lead over Lenny Borsch. Moved in through the nose.
That is the exact same shot that happened before. Got it down a little bit quick. The ball's starting to hook earlier. I'm surprised he didn't move off that. You see the look, like, what happened? Boom. That ball just never went right at all.
He was a good 4 or 5 boards inside of where he was striking earlier.
Yep.
Love the extra looks.
This is a 3-6-10. 9,000 ways to miss this and about 1 way to pick it up. I hate this spare.
Cross lane. Great cover. I'd find a way to take the 6-pin out. That's my trademark. I will go between the 310 and take that 6-pin out. I'm very talented at that.
Well, or pick the 3-pin off dead straight and don't.
Oh, I don't do that. I'm the 6-pin.
You could do that and miss the cut by a pin. Thought I'd just throw that in there for you.
Hang on. Excuse me for 1 minute. Let it go, Carter.
I can't. You keep reminding me.
I did not remind. How did that remind you?
You're sitting here.
Okay, there you go. 7th frame. 7th frame from Monticelli. Trying to get something going. Great shot by Amato. Now he's lost the right lane too.
But his is different. He says hooking early. The other guys are getting to the pocket they can't carry. So it's a whole different look at it. And the lanes tend to hook more as you go in. So
Lenny Borsch now stepping up in the 7th frame on a strike. Down 20 pins. Looks like Lenny's taking a re-rack on lane 42. Maybe buying a little bit of time. Or maybe saw something that he didn't like.
Yeah, maybe there could be just, ever so slightly off spot. And that could be leaving a 10 pin, or he just wasn't ready to bowl yet.
Let me text my mechanic and say fix that right away.
Could you?
Big strike here for Lenny. Cuts the lead to 10 pins. 7th frame. Forced it up there. And, 4, 7, 10.
He made an adjustment, obviously, because he leaving the 10 pins, but now the ball's just right through the face. You can't square up too much on this pattern because the ball just hooks early.
It looks like he kind of tried to force that one up because he'd gone light, or he'd gone high, gone light, light 10 again.
Right.
Tried to kind of fit that and force it in because he knew he needed that one to cut the lead.
10 pin, 10 pin. I got to make some kind of adjustment on this lane. And unfortunately, that wasn't the adjustment
He's going to give this a run. He's got to give this a run. 7 out.
That I didn't expect.
No.
Because earlier today in match play, you left a 4-9 and needed it and picked that up. So you always go for pins. Get as many, a spare like that or a split is a percentage shot anyway. At least get the 2. 2's 4 on a strike.
You got that right. That was about a 4-pin swing and count, and now he's down 37 pins.
Yeah.
Max score for Lenny Borsch right now is 201, and Leto's just cruising along at a 207 pace.
Yeah, and if he strikes out, it's 247. I mean, it's Lenny's got his work cut out for him now. He has to figure out a way to strike out to put some kind of pressure.
A lot of room. Did not get that one back in the 210.
And this isn't looking good. I mean, he can pick this up. It looks like a tough spare, but for Lenny, it should be relatively easy. He picks this up to save some game.
Sent that one out about 3 boards wider than what we've seen, and that might have been a little frustration from
the previous shot
trying to fit it.
That's what we call overcompensation. I tugged the last one.
I have a big truck for that.
You do.
Lenny's going to go hard and straight at this. Come on, Lenny. Oh, good shot. Good try.
So now he's looking at, 189 max score at this point?
189 max score, and Leto.
179.
179, yeah. Basically, and Leto strikes here in the 8th, clean, game over.
Yep.
And he knows it.
Well, there's no pressure on him now, so
see him looking down. You see him make that little move with his feet. He hitched over a couple of boards.
He's got to figure out where to get the ball down the lane. It hooked early twice.
That looks much better. And the 7-10.
Tell me there's not a spot down lane that is
There's something out there. Jeez.
What'd you do to this pair?
I didn't do anything to it. I just owned the place. And Leto with a great shot leaves the 7-10. He's got a chance to make this.
Yeah, because your pins bounce out of the back here.
Yes, they do.
So
they do bounce. And Leto going to go hard and straight?
There's a chance he could bounce it out. Unfortunately, he didn't. So that makes it a little bit more interesting. 75, 95 if he just marks out, 39, 59. So if Borsch strikes out, he's got a possible 179. Lenny can still go 215.
So now we definitely have a trend here. Whoever's going to win is going to have to hit this right lane.
They got to figure it out.
Amleto strike here in the 9th. Sets him up for 205. Great shot.
That's like a no-brainer. He walks up, and that's a strike. He's lost that right lane. Some of the other guys never had the right lane. Now Ameleto's kind of in a tizzy on who's going to figure it out. And Bob Learn, who's our tournament leader, is going to be playing the same area. So you better be paying attention when he gets over here to try to figure out how to adjust to that right lane.
Let's see if Lenny can figure out how to hit this right lane. 2 opens on this right lane, 2 10-pins, both 2 high hits, 2 light hits. Let's see if he can split the difference and figure it out. That's inside. High, hard one.
Okay. He strikes out for
179.
The famous tiptoe step on the power step.
The high, hard one.
Yep. Lenny has the ability to throw it hard and keep it right on line, which makes him such a great player because when other guys are having trouble with the lanes moving all over the place, Lenny can keep it on line. And that's just a phenomenal feat to be able to do. And if you got that trick in your bag, that's pretty awesome.
Better shot. Gets the mixer.
Yep.
And you see he's just totally dejected right now with himself. 3 shows in a row. And I hate to say this, 0 for 3 on the last 3 shows, not the best record you want to have. But you know what? 3 different patterns, 3 tough opponents. You know what? I wouldn't mind taking that kind of money home.
You make a show every week, I'd take that, and I'll take my chances.
I'll back your horse.
Percentage-wise, he's going to win. There's no doubt about it.
And he's won before. He won in North Carolina a few years ago at Mooresville.
And he won down at the Villages.
And winning at the Villages is not easy because that's a humongous field. High-scoring tournament. A lot of fun. And just see Lenny, boy, if he had that look on the right lane, man, that'd be a totally different match.
He was looking down at that right lane like, what could I have done? Whatever he did, he needed to obviously figure it out several frames sooner.
Hate to say it, but a 179 striking in the last 4 balls is not going to do it in this game, unfortunately, Tom. Classic finish by Lenny Borsch there. Only able to muster a 179 in his 3rd appearance in a row, but you know what? It's his 3rd appearance, and
that's what people don't
win.
Understand. You know, at home you're like, man, I could shoot 179, but you're not bowling on the lane conditions that these guys are bowling on. You know, and with this kind of competition, sometimes the 179 is a great game. He just feels bad that he didn't figure out that right lane.
And Little made a little bit of adjustment on that one.
That right lane still got Ameleto a little befuddled.
Well, he better figure it out real quick because coming up next is the wild card.
It's
Eddie Graham.
He's bowled 8 tournaments and made 8 finals. This is his first show, but he's made 8 finals. So, and as I was talking to him, 8's his favorite number, so he's looking forward to this show.
It's going to be a great semifinal match as it sets up Hall of Famer Amleto Monticelli finishing out here, potential 195. Lenny Borsch shoots 179. Amleto will move on to bowl Eddie Graham in our semi-final match. We'll be back here live on Extra Frame in just a moment.
Congratulations to Lenny Borsch. Coming up, a little more practice. Bob Learn Jr. and Eddie Graham coming on. We will take a few practice warm-ups here, and we'll get the semifinal match underway for you. championship pin at Provo West. Eddie has chosen to make Amleto Monticelli start the match.
And we're back live here at Provo West for the 2016 PBA50 DeHayes Insurance Group Championship. Dave Small again here live with Mr. Tommy Kata.
Thank you.
His
I'm
good
here.
friend Tommy Kata, Jeff Goodyear driving the bus, and Phil Two-Buck Brilo running our third camera out there. And that third camera's been awesome tonight.
Did you see John Weber, the 2016 Nobel Prize winner in bowling?
He is the man.
Nominee.
I'll vote for him.
I think he'll win.
Again, Amleto starting the match on lane 41. Nobody wants to finish on lane 42 right now. Amleto 217 and 195 in his first two matches. Swings it out and brings it back. Messenger, a little short for the 10-pin.
Yeah, I think you can curve it too much on this pair.
Messenger was just a little short there, Tom. I've heard that about you.
Yeah, thank you. Really? You're lucky I'm here. My motorhome broke down in Vegas. I might not even been here.
Cross lane for the 10-pin. Amleto makes it without a problem.
Cost me $8,000 to get here.
We're glad you're here. I wouldn't know what to do without you and Linda.
Yeah, you know.
And now up, the untested, unknown
What I want to
Eddie
know,
Graham.
are you Mike J or Phil Brilo?
I'm better looking than both.
We're setting in for him, so I just wonder which one you are.
I'll be whatever you want me to be. A couple glasses of wine later tonight. Who knows?
Eddie
I
Graham,
might put the blonde wig back on and sing.
don't do that. Eddie Graham with his first shot.
Playing inside, fourth arrow. Oh, and rips the rack on lane 42.
Using a snap lock. That's what he used all week. He said he changed balls one time and shot 185 with it and went back to a snap lock.
Beautiful hand release there. Great camera work by Phil Brilo. Gets the low angle shot.
Eddie Graham with 5 regional titles. He won the RPI in 2007. I think, if my memory's correct, he beat Wayne Webb for that RPI title. I'm not sure, but I think that's correct.
Looking for a quick double here to take a 10-pin lead. Be the first time Monticelli's been down today. Inside. Leaves a soft 10-pin.
The two styles are close, but not close. Eddie's hooking the ball, but he's not having such a drastic angle change on the back end, not quite like Amleto. Ameleto's ball is really turning a quarter on the back end. They're both playing deep, but Eddie's playing a much tighter line.
Eddie from beautiful Centerville, Ohio. Just
Eddie,
around the corner here down by the Columbus area.
like I said, this is his 8th tournament. He started out west in the Western Swing with the U.S. Open, made the swing out there, cashed in all of those events, and has cashed in all the events up till today, and now his first show. Might have a little nerves going on the first couple frames.
I did talk to him beforehand. He did say he was a little bit nervous, but he was smiling the whole time. He's living his dream right now.
Well, anytime you make the show, yeah, you might be nervous, but you got to be happy about it, right?
You got that right.
Got
Amleto switching balls on the right lane. Through the nose for the 6-9-10.
He switched to a Heat Extreme. He was throwing a Rebel.
How do you know that? Just by the look of what the ball is?
That's the benefit of having 5 pro shops. You don't have a lot of bowling balls.
Bowler's Universe out there, everybody. Linda and Tom Carter.
Yeah, where I'm at right now at Wayne Webb's in Columbus Bowl, we have 88 different balls on the wall. So there's a lot of equipment out there to be had.
Again, I just want mine to go long and turn left.
I know, go long, hook late.
That's all I want. Amleto picks up the 6-9-10 very easily. Amleto down by 3 pins here early in our semifinal match.
First time that Amleto has been trailing since he's been on the show today.
That is correct. Seems like he's very much more comfortable on this left lane, as all the players seem to have been tonight. Amleto looking for his first strike of the semifinal match, and a solid 10-pin on that shot.
As we said earlier, I said when we started the program, 10 pins in this place have been a treat if you don't have the right angle entry.
Are you saying the carry sucks in my bowling center?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's a little tough sometimes. And Amuleto might have said something in Spanish right there. I didn't quite understand what he said, but
Portuguese, actually. He speaks Portuguese, Italian, English, French. Unbelievable young man.
You know, he almost quit the tour. He heard a song by his artist. I think it's Zero is the artist's name. And whatever the words are in that song revitalized him. And instead of going home, he bowled the next stop and made his first show. And the rest is history.
Well, he was a great soccer player back in Venezuela. One of the best soccer players, played for the country. And I still remember his first victory against, not the Japan Cup, I remember that one, but his first victory in the States against Mark Roth in 1988 at the Showboat. And a solid 10-pin for Mr. Graham.
Not surprising on that right lane. Look how smooth that he comes out of that ball lane. He's got a great game for out here, and he's one of the young 50s. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're young 50 and you got those kind of revs compared to some of us that are almost 60.
You old.
I know. It's tough to compete.
Aren't you just 1 year short of 60?
No, I'm like 15 days short.
1 year?
Yeah. This is terrible. Shut up.
Cross lane for the 10-pin. And he misses it to the inside.
It was left off of his hand.
And that's a little bit of nerves, a rookie mistake.
Yes.
Mr. Carter will be 60 years old in 15 days.
August 24th. So I miss all of the tournaments. So I'll be an old 60 when the tour starts up again next year.
You will.
Is there such a thing as being an
You
old
will.
60? I mean, you're 60. You're old anyway, right?
Well, it'll be your rookie season next year, just like Ron Moore on Thursday has his rookie shot at the 60 tournament, being his rookie year as a 60.
This is so bad.
Only a bowler would think of it so pessimistically.
Eddie looking to get back on track. Great mixer over there. He threw that ball with much more confidence.
Well, he's keeping the line much tighter from point A to point B down lane to his break point than Amuleto is, which I think is a great thing. Less chance for error, but you got to have good speed for that, and he does. And Amuleto's got good speed. You see some of the seniors out here. Unfortunately, some of us can't throw the ball with that kind of velocity, and we get more over-under reaction with our equipment. That's a big question we get in the pro shop. How can I get a ball down the lane? And if you don't have ball speed, that's pretty tough sometimes.
Boy, did Amuleto send that one wide.
He wheeled the living daylights out of that and thought it was going to
He
bounce.
is lost on this right lane. He is lost right now.
And that's where Eddie's got the benefit. He's keeping it in a much tighter line.
You see that ball actually squirted out almost to 3 at the break point.
He's covering too many boards at this point. He needs to square up his line, and he did in qualifying. When I crossed with him, we hit a pair that he was hooking it just like this, and all of a sudden he switched balls, really tightened up his line.
And wraps a 10-pin.
And just lit him up. And he needs to do the same thing right now. He needs to tighten up that line.
Great angle there by Phil Brilo.
It looked like he had that. That's amazing, and he missed that shot.
And that 5 count on that first shot just threw him behind.
Just goes to prove that it takes almost 3 balls to knock down a 10-pin in this place.
But only 1 shot to make the 3-6-10.
Yeah. I just can't even say anything of that.
Great
shot by Emily. Unbelievable.
Amuleto just freewheeling on the left lane. Another great shot. All 10 pins in the pit.
Thank you. You have somewhere to go.
I'm your buddy tonight. We are a team.
I'm loving it.
We're a damn good-looking team, too.
Yeah.
All right. Amuleto strikes in the 4th frame. Now it's time for Mr. Graham, who now has an 8-pin lead over Amuleto. Yeah, 8. 68 in the 4th against 60. See? My math was good.
It was.
My math was good.
This
could be a strike here, and he could be up 18 pins right quick. Oh, yes. There we go. First bowler to actually hit the pocket twice.
On the right lane.
On the right lane right now.
Well, to the effect of the 10 pins, these fins are relatively new, right?
3 weeks.
3 weeks old. So they don't have all the bounce in them yet as pins that have been wore a little bit. So they're a little harder to knock down.
They are a little harder to knock down, but 150, 300 games in the center this year and 57, 800 series, they break in nicely, which is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Our bowlers like them. Our bowlers like the condition. And right now, Eddie Graham's liking the condition. And guess what? 28-pin lead will strike here in the sixth.
He's putting a little bit of pressure on Amuleto. Yeah, he's playing inside of fourth there. Looks like he's crossing like 22, 23.
Oh, nice shot.
Keeping the ball to about 12 down lane. He's keeping the ball inside of what Amuleto's doing, so there's not as much angle entry on the back end. And right now, that seems to be the game plan.
First time Amuleto today has been down, and really the first time we've seen Amuleto down this far.
Yeah, and Amuleto has really got to put it together on the right lane, and he's actually, unfortunately,
switching balls again.
Yeah, he went back to his Rebel on the right lane, but he's got to figure out how to tighten up the angles.
6 frame here, down 28 pins. Double here, cuts the lead to 18. He's hard and straight. Hit it!
Oh, that was better. He didn't wheel it as much, but carrying the 10-pin. And that's the thing about, we got Pro Anviline here, which is one of the harder surfaces made. And with the oil that we use, it's easy to get that little bit of carry down to that spot.
But you saw he changed his angle and changed his line on that one. He went harder, straighter to take away that spot. Hit the pocket for the first time in 4 attempts on this
He's
lane.
an experienced player. He's sitting back there. He's seen what Eddie's doing. And I'm sure that he said, I need to tighten this line up. And that's what he did. Unfortunately, he didn't get the best result out of it.
Well, at least he hit the pocket for the first time in 4 attempts on that lane.
He needs to strike here, then put a few strikes behind it to put some pressure on Eddie, because Eddie's getting a little bit more comfortable now.
Amuleto's down 28 pins right now, going into the latter half of our semifinal game. Strike here in the 7th to set him up. Light hit leaves the 4-8 that time. And I'll tell you what.
It looks like he's losing the lane, and he's running out of frames, and that's a terrible feeling, because he knows that he needs to start putting some pressure back on Eddie.
And watching the scores this week, guys, sorry to say the scores tonight are not what we were seeing all week long. We saw was a 230 average to lead the tournament.
Yeah, and it could be, obviously every pair in the house plays a little bit different, but this pair, I know at the higher end, the scores were ungodly at the higher end of the house. Which
we're on.
And down in the middle part of the house, the lower end of the house, they were huge. I noticed in qualifying today, the pair next to it, 39 and 40, guys are having little problems on that pair. And it could be just the topography of these 4 lanes, especially that right lane. It's got a little trick to it, but it looks like Eddie's figured out the trick.
4-bagger here will put Amuleto really on the ropes, down 38 pins. Oh, beautiful shot by Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie's really got this match in hand now, so he's putting nails in the coffin. He just hasn't hammered them in yet, but they're getting close.
Great extra look here from our cameraman Phil Brilo, down low.
Eddie walking it out, and he knows he's got to be feeling pretty comfortable right now.
Strike here in the 8th. He takes a 58-pin lead and pretty much might be game, set, match with this one, Tom.
Yep. Amuleto is looking at 208, and Eddie's going at a much higher pace than that, like 250.
I didn't need my abacus for that one.
You did have your shoes off.
I did, didn't I? One more strike. Oh, it mixes him up.
He didn't like it, but I said earlier, those light hits sometimes in his place carry, that's one of them. The ball didn't quite finish, but it was enough of the head pin that it just tripped him out. Head pin goes aside, takes out that 4-7. Gotta like it.
Amuleto Monticelli must take it off the sheet to have any chance at this point, Tom.
Yeah, if he doesn't strike here, this game is unfortunately over for Amuleto.
Tightens the lineup again. Another soft 10-pin.
Yep. Just doesn't have the right look. He knows that he's shaking his head, and frustration is obviously because these guys, they have so many titles because they hate losing, and it's grinding on him right now.
Well, you know, I don't know if you knew this or not yet, Tom, but I have just been added to the PBA's all-time greatest bowler list. I have been added. 1.8 millionth.
1.8
1.8 millionth best bowler in the history of the PBA.
How big's that book?
It's 1.825 million, so I'm way down there.
Is that in big print or small print?
Yeah, one font, actually. 2-8, and Amleto's just lost the lanes.
Yep, game, set, match. Amleto just can't figure it out. Eddie's just got to get up and bowl his 2 frames. This is a good time for him to experiment, to check out to see if another ball is going to give him a better reaction, a different line is going to give him a reaction, because Learn's going to come in. He's got his practice shots. Lanes are going to transition just a little bit more, and it's going to be a really, really good match, especially with Eddie going for his first title. He said 8 is his lucky number.
Let's see what Eddie Graham can do. And this is going to be an interesting change now for Bobby Learn coming on. As Bobby being the tournament leader, he's been practicing down to our left on lanes 25 and 26, about 10 pairs away or so. Bob hasn't had a look on this pair really in the last hour, been able to throw a couple of balls. But obviously they've changed a little bit.
I think he gets either 6 or 8 shots, and that'll figure out something. But Eddie just put the nail in the coffin right there. It's all over. What a great first time on the show. I mean, he's bowling like he's been on the show forever.
He can go for 258.
Yeah. He's just cool, calm, and collected. No big deal.
Eddie Graham from Centerville, Ohio, is going to be our winner here in the semi-final match against Amleto Monticelli. Sets up an interesting final. Tom, why don't we talk a little bit about what we're going to see with Bob Learn coming on?
Bob is going to be Bob's got 2 great games. He can go really hard and straight, or he can literally hook the devil out of it. They don't call him Mr. 300 for no reason. And if Bob has been paying attention, and he'll come over here and find out, he's probably going to circle the lane a little bit like Amleto, but his angle entry, again, is different, and he's using a more aggressive ball than what Amleto was using. So we'll know a little bit more after the practice session is over, but I don't think that Eddie's going to change his game plan at all. He's trying to keep the ball a little tight.
Oh, now he's carrying the mixer.
Yep. He is drilling it.
Great shot of Bobby Learn practicing down lane.
Boom. Look at that. Now he's coming out of his shoes. He's going to be
and he's hungry. He hasn't won for 2 years.
Yeah, and look at his demeanor. I mean, he's just in it right now.
Great camera work there by Phil Brilo. Eddie looking to finish. Beautiful game for a 257. Your first time on television. Great game for Eddie Graham. Sets up a great final against Bobby Learn.
We could have a big match for the title.
I think it's going to be a great match, Tom. And,
can we open the wine now?
If you would like to, let's open the wine. If you'd like to, let's open the wine. We'll be right back here as we take a break momentarily from Pro Bowl West in the 2016 PBA50 DeHayes Insurance Group Championships.
Five-time PBA Tour champion. Bob will take 8 shots. We'll get the championship match going right.
As John Weber introduces our players for the championship match, welcome back here to Provo West in the 2016 PBA50 DeHayes Insurance Group Championships. Dave Small calling the action here with his buddy Tom Carter, and you see the beautiful Champions Trophy here. Everybody wants this trophy.
It's a nice trophy, I have to admit, and it's filled, sort of, with wine.
With wine. That's the most important part of the trophy, is cracking it open and enjoying a beverage as soon as you win. And we got a great championship match setting up here. Our number 1 and number 2 qualifiers out of the Matrix of Fairness match play today. Eddie Graham versus Bobby Learn Jr. Boo-boo from my hometown.
Well, Eddie's got right now, based on the last match, the best look on this pair of lanes. He's figured out how to get out the corners on the right lane.
257 in the last match in the semifinal, opening on lane 41. Beautiful shot.
He hasn't changed his strategy one bit.
Picking up right where we left off.
Yep, playing around 22, taking it to 12 down lane, and flush. He's not covering, even though it looks like he's at a steep angle, he's not covering that many boards.
He is so smooth out there.
He just revs the living daylights out of it with not a lot of effort.
And now our first look at Bobby Learn Jr. from Erie, Pennsylvania originally, now living in Boca Raton, Florida.
Mr. 300 has the highest 4-game set on TV. 1184, I believe, is the number.
It was pretty big. I was there for it. And you see Bobby opening on the right lane, leaves the 310 again. This right lane is going to be the key. Whoever can hit it is probably going to be your champion tonight.
I noticed when he was in practice, he was having a little trouble with it. Then he got lined up, and maybe he might have made an adjustment or he just caught it too much, because if you watch Bobby, he really catches every bit of it at the bottom of the swing.
Bobby definitely hungry for victory. It's been 2 years since he last won here on the PBA50 Tour, and chops the 3-pin off the 10 right off the bat.
That's not a good thing. That's kind of what Amoletto did. He opened the first frame for Eddie, and Eddie took advantage of it the rest of the game.
Another look there, as you see Bobby went hard and straight, traditionally the proper way to make the spare, but kind of threw it a little too straight at it.
Bobby's throwing the new DV8 Grudge Hybrid, and that ball is pretty aggressive, so he's going to be crossing some boards.
After the open, second frame here on lane 41. Gnarled that one. Gets it back, leaves just the pin.
Oh, he was walking it out, pulled the string, and thought it was going, and did not.
Boo-boo gnarled on that one. He's just right of the 4th arrow. Ball mixes him up.
The pin's hit it. One of us knocked it over, but I believe another pin caught it and stood it back up. That's just a tough break. Round objects hitting round objects. True story.
True story.
I was there.
Hard and straight for the 8-pin, and makes it without a problem.
He absolutely throws it 25 mile an hour, fires it down the lane, and knocked down one pin.
Eddie Graham, in his first television appearance, eliminated Amoletto Monticelli, Hall of Famer, with a 257, and even had an open, missed a 10-pin.
So Eddie's got 5 regional titles, bowling for his first national title.
And I'll tell you what, if I was out there right now, I'd be shaking like a leaf.
He's cool, calm, and collected. He doesn't even look like he's worried.
Gives it a lot of room. And leaves the 2-8-10 this time. He missed to the right.
That would be the statement you just made. He gave it a lot of room, and it just didn't read.
See, that ball is about 4 boards farther out than he wanted to send it. Sailed and hit that spot again, leaves a 2-8-10.
And unfortunately, this spare is almost next to impossible. It can be picked up, but odds are not great.
And unfortunately for Graham, that puts a hungry pork chop in front of Bobby Learn, who is hungry right now for a victory. Yeah. He's going to get the 2-8 for the count. Covers it.
Yeah. That's the best thing to do.
9 and out, baby. 9 and out.
Unless it was the 10th frame and you needed to pick that up to win, get count. There's no use giving away pins.
And he's only down 9 pins to start. You know?
And that saved him 4 pins.
Mm-hmm. Graham is only down 1 pin, my apology. The abacus failed me on that one. 2 opens, 28
You put
to
your shoes
29.
on.
I had to. Jeff was going to slap me.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Much
That
better
was
shot.
a fantastic shot.
There we go.
He recouped, and that's a sign of a champion. He didn't let the 2-8-10 rattle him. He got back up, refocused, cleared his mind, made a good shot. This part here is going to be interesting because everybody in the coaching industry, you always hear people help other people, and they go, "Your feet are too fast." We get a side view of this. There is probably nobody that's got faster feet going to the line than Bob Learn.
He gnarled it.
He just gets all over it. He doesn't believe his reaction that he just got. That boy gets to the line. Unfortunately, he hit up on that one. And when you hit up on a ball,
It's going to hook early.
and it did.
Yep. Bobby Laird, one of the many bowlers who has shot 300 on live national TV. In fact, the big one he shot in 1996 at his hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania, which was his 55th 300 and got paid $100,000.
He's not scared to shoot 300. He's done it lots of times.
And he's also in the Guinness Book World Records for the longest 300 game because 2 years ago in Mooresville, they had the power outage.
Right.
He was on the front 6. They waited 3 hours, and he came back and finished and shot 300. Longest amount of time it takes to shoot a 300, Bobby Learn.
Watch these feet. 1, 2, and there he goes. I mean, they're quick.
Come on, boo-boo. Great shot there. And with the fans here, they really want to see some good action here. We want to see a close match here. And you see Bobby just gnarled on that ball. And that's my word for Bobby is just gnarl.
I call it a wrist roll. He's got his wrist cupped up. He loads it up, and at the point of release, his wrist uncups, and he goes through it and just peers it with his fingers. Creates a ton of rotation on the ball, which obviously it reads the lane on the back end, and he sends pins everywhere.
All right, Eddie Graham right now in the 4th frame, only down 1 pin. Down 1 pin. 2-8-10 last time on lane 42, gave the ball too much room. See what kind of an adjustment that he makes. This time leaves the only 4 pin.
He's got a long fluid swing. He doesn't cup it up as much, so he gets the ball cleaner through the front part of the lane. Ball is just smoother down the lane. Makes what I call a quieter transition on the back end.
Easy spare here for Eddie Graham. Just going to go pretty much hard and straight at this 4 pin.
To a certain extent, he's still throwing his snap lock at it. So if he's going to kill it, I think he might give it a little bit of arc, and he did. And that's what a lot of the guys have done with this pattern. It seems to be conducive to hook the ball a little bit towards the 4-7.
He made a liar out of me.
Well,
Here I'm calling it like old school, throw it hard straight at the spare, and he's going to hook it at it.
Just like Nelson Burton.
I tell you. If only I had that kind of money.
If I only had money.
If I had your money, I'd burn mine.
Then you'd be really broke. Living in a motorhome.
You can believe this even match, guys. Even title match right now. Eddie looking to set up a string of strikes, starting off here on lane 41. Soft 10 pin. And he looks a little confused on that shot. He had that little flustered look on his face.
Yeah, a little befuzzled there, but, as I've said probably 15 or 20 times, the 10 pins on this pattern
go easy.
Have been tough. If you got the right angle, you knock them down. If you don't, you leave a lot. And that's just the pattern that makes that way, because certain patterns will knock down more pins than others. And right now, this pattern is causing enough oil to get to the break point that the ball is just not reading it quite right in order to get that ball to face up to knock down the 10. There's nothing wrong with that. That makes the players more apt to have to use all of their knowledge on how to get that ball to face up the right way. You did that on purpose. I know you did, because you wanted to see a great game.
I want to see a great game.
Yes.
1 pin match currently here in the final match here of the 2016 PBA50 DeHayes Championship. Dave Small here live with Mr. Tamekata. Calling the action live. Bobby Learn. Boo Boo is up now. 5th frame on a strike. Double here takes an 11-pin lead.
Did he grab every bit of that one? That, unfortunately, wasn't too fluid off of his hand. And that ball hooked as soon as it hit the lane. And He's going through the same thing Amuleto did right there, where he let 3-6-10 twice in a row on the right lane.
Except this time he's got the 9-pin added to it, which makes it 3 or 4 times more difficult to make.
Yeah, well, the 3-6-10 is hard enough as it is. Adding the 9 makes it, on some patterns, almost impossible. It's like having a double when you pick it up.
That's exactly right. He's going to actually hook the ball with this. He's got to have enough power to carry out that 9-pin.
Uh-oh.
Oh, made it to the inside.
That was the miss that made it.
But that miss that made it gave him a look he didn't have. Watch how he hits it. That could be something he could take next time he comes to that, because he hit the pocket with that spare.
Light pocket.
That was solid pocket. Snapped the 10-pin out just like that. Bam, snap that 10-pin out.
I'm not sure what monitor you're looking at.
I'm watching at that one right there. Watch.
Okay.
See? Boom.
Got it.
Could be something he learns.
We'll see.
See, exactly. Bobby trying to get something started. Oh, 3, 4, 6, 7.
He's trying. He wants this so bad.
He's trying too hard.
He's trying way too hard. He's just got to look how much he raised on that shot. I mean, it's kind of his natural forte anyway, but he's a little bit overdoing it. He wants this title really bad. And if he doesn't figure this out, he could actually hand this right to Eddie.
He needs to pick this up, or the momentum swing is going to be severely into Graham's favor. Hard and straight. And doesn't get it. That's going to put him at 92 in the 6th frame.
With a possible 212 max score. Eddie's going right now.
And you can see Bobby's just not
237. It's 25 pins difference right now, max score. Eddie just needs to relax.
And throw a couple of good shots.
Yeah, just make good long swings, post the shot. Don't try to overdo.
Soft 10-pin. That's all right. It's all right now.
He's filling frames. That's the biggest thing about being out here, is fill the frames. If you fill the frames, you got a chance. If you don't fill the frames, you don't have any chance at all. And young bowlers need to understand that. You don't need to strike every time, but you do need to fill the frames. Hit the pocket, leave something makeable, pick it up.
And always have that attitude of whether or not you can make it or it isn't makeable. Always think that you can make it. Very important.
Positive attitude is huge in this game.
Hard and straight at the 10-pin. Dead face.
That's
good
a good
shot.
thing.
Right now we have a 24-pin lead for Eddie Graham as we come into the latter half of our championship match here in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Down 4 frames, and somebody's going to win a title.
And unfortunately, right now, Bobby is lost.
That's not a good thing.
No.
And I don't know if he's so lost that he's so amped up. He's so amped up he won't let the ball work for him.
And we saw that a couple of years ago down in Mooresville, North Carolina, where he was so amped up against Jack Jurek, and Jack just capitalized on that.
You got to keep your emotions in check.
7th frame for Eddie Graham. Ooh, and gets the 10-pin out that time.
How pure was that release? He just rolled that off of his hand and let the ball do the work.
He's so smooth. Just watch
swing
the fingers.
Inside out, right next to his ankle, threw it.
Barely hurt.
Posted the shot, waited on it. He sees it.
And to get that, that's my favorite hit right there. That little
love tap on the 10.
You got it. I'll shake my hip and just give it a little kiss like that. Wow. What? Bam, like that. All right, Boo Boo, get something going.
Does he know that you call him Boo Boo?
Oh God, I've known Bob for 30 years.
Yeah.
Leaves it. It's been his nickname on tour for years. Leaves a 2-7 on this shot, and Bobby is lost. I hate to say
unfortunately,
he's lost.
he is. He was kind of laughing about it coming back, going, "I don't know what's going on," but he just needs to really make a solid shot and let the ball read. I think he's overthrowing it right now. He's got a lot of speed, and he's not letting the ball read the pattern. He's trying to just jam it in the pocket, I think, to the certain degree.
He must make this 2-7, and he does. All right. That's a big spare conversion right now.
He needs to strike right here to actually put a little bit of pressure back on Eddie, because Eddie right now is looking very comfortable. You know, he's looking like he's done this 100 times.
Bobby stepping up here in the 8th frame down 24 pins, 3 frames to play, and we talk potential right now. Bobby Learn right now has a potential 202 if he can take it off the sheet.
To 226.
To 226. I was going to say he's going at a 196 pace. It's a better shot. Did not come back.
He doesn't believe his reaction. And this is where I think that he's letting his speed dominate his ball reaction. He's just not letting the ball read the lane. He wants it so bad. And he's severely frustrated at this point.
Yes, he is. And it's a shame
and he's handing this right to Eddie.
He is. He is on a silver platter. I hate to say it. He has to make this to have any chance. If he doesn't make this, it might be game, set, and almost match. Nope. And he bounced everything around. 117. Now only 177.
So we're not even forcing Eddie to have to double. We're just forcing Eddie to mark.
Just stay clean right now. Eddie just needs to stay clean. And Bobby he's completely confused.
He's frustrated. He just needs to really slow down and let the ball roll. See, you see that motion? The ball just went 60 feet. It went 60 feet because he's throwing it pretty hard.
The biggest shot of this young man's career, right here. Through the nose for the 3-6-10. And I think right now they just want to get done.
Nerves could be kicking in right now because he knows he's got it. Just don't hand it back to him. For God's sakes, don't go open, open, open the rest of the way out.
Right? Tell us the proper way to convert despair, Tom.
We have got to get off this mic.
Eddie's going to go hopefully hard and straight at it.
For you people listening, I chopped the spare to miss the cut to go into the next round. I chopped the 3 off the 6-10. And he picked it up. That's the proper way.
Tom Carter had another great week. Had a good week last week in Anderson. Had a great week here.
In Welch. Had a great week in Welch.
You've been bowling great, Tom. And you made the show in in South Shore.
Yeah, made the show in Welch. Finished. We stopped at a regional on the way here and finished 3rd there. So I feel like I've been bowling good. I got some shots in my shoulder, kill the pain.
You threw the ball good all week. So threw the ball nicely. No, today was just one of those days that
the little fat guy can strike every now and then.
I'm the big fat guy. We got the little fat guy, the big fat guy, and then we got Jeff Goodyear, who's pretty skinny. 9th frame. Or 9th frame with a strike for Eddie Graham. Potential 206 right now.
That was just dead pure. He's pretty confident. He told me, again, 8. This is his 8th tournament. 8 is his lucky number. He walked into the practice round. There was 8 minutes left. He goes, I'm going to win. And I think he's going to win.
Bobby's trying to get something and leaves a solid 10-pin.
He's, unfortunately,
out of it.
He's done. Eddie Graham is going to win his first title in 8 tournaments that he has competed in.
How awesome is that? Takes down a Hall of Famer in Emletta Monticelli, and now is going to take down Mr. 300, Bobby Learn.
Eddie earned it. He bowled great all week. He bowled great in the final round to get here. Obviously, when you're throwing the ball that pure off your hand, he's not grabbing it at all. It looks, for people out there watching and want to learn to throw the ball, try to get it on the lane as smooth as Eddie's throwing it right now. That was actually, I thought, one of his best shots that he threw the whole match.
Yep.
He was really down on that shot.
He waited for that one.
Yeah, he didn't jump out of it. He waited on that one. The ball actually read the lane a lot better. He didn't get the break that he wanted, but I think he should have been doing that the whole match.
I agree. 100% agree with you. If he gets a spare here and a strike, I know the game that he probably wasn't looking for. Probably the lowest game of the week for Bobby, 156.
Oh, definitely the lowest game of the week. Eddie Graham is probably a little bit in shock and awe
right now.
Yeah, shock and awe right now.
Well, you know what? When we finish up, I'm going to go down and interview him and see what it's like to
Win your first title.
You got that right, because I've never done it.
I've never done it either. Third and fourth is the best
Bobby
I've ever
finishes
got.
with a strike for a very disappointing 156. And I know he's got to be heartbroken right now.
Oh,
I feel for Bobby.
He's bowled so good all week, and that's the tough part when you bowl so good, and now it comes down to winning one game. It's tough to do. Eddie Graham for a title, off his hand, dead pure, clean.
So
it's the 10 pin on the right lane,
but it doesn't matter. First-time champion here at the 2016 PBA50 DeHayes Insurance Championship. Eddie Graham, welcome.
$7,500 richer right now.
You got that right. Welcome to the winner's circle, Eddie. Great performance tonight. And we'll go down and interview here, Eddie, in just a moment.
Yeah.
Stay with us.
His demeanor's never changed. This is awesome.
Stay with us here
Great
live
champion.
on Extra Frame. All right, and we're live here on Extra Frame here at Pro Bowl West. My name's Dave Small. I'm the proprietor here, and what an awesome championship match, guys. Give it up for our first-time champion here, Mr. Eddie Graham from Centerville, Ohio. Eddie, come on over here. Come on over. Let's talk to you for just a second, sir. First off, congratulations on your first win on your debut on the PBA50 Tour, sir.
Sure. Thank you very much. Can't thank you enough, Dave, for all you've done for Pro Bowl West. First time I've been here, so it'll be a lifetime memory. Remember coming back here again. So thanks very much.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And why don't you talk to us a little bit about this championship pair tonight? Man, it looked kind of ugly out there. It really did.
Ugly is putting it politely and putting it nicely. I drilled a new ball up this week, and I just drilled it the day before the tournament. I threw it almost the whole tournament. Storm and Rotogrip luckily give me the greatest balls to throw, and Snaplock just helped me get through it. So, but yeah, it definitely was ugly. Bowling against great bowlers, it actually means a lot.
I mean, you bowled great all week. You took semifinal match, a great match against Emleto Monticelli, and had a tremendous final there against great champion, good friend of mine, Bobby Learn, out there. And it just, like you said, I thought the lanes just looked totally different out there tonight than they had earlier in the day for us.
Yeah, just the practice, all the bowling on it, yeah, they really shaped it totally different than what we had been bowling on. But luckily, hate to say it now, it's probably not good, but it's the first time I've ever beat Bob Learn. He's beat me every time I've bowled him. So I'm glad it worked out in my favor this time.
All right, that is Eddie Graham, first-time champion here on the PBA50 Tour. We appreciate all of our fans and support here. Eddie, great champion, and many more to come.